everybody out there in Grip World. This is Napalm Jedd Johnson, and this is episode 60 of This Week in Grip, and I am joined today by none other than Alan Hynek. Alan, how's it going, dude?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. How's everything on your end?
Good, man. Been busy. I'll tell you, I don't know if you heard or not, but I bought a building in downtown Wyalusing. It's a storefront right on Main Street. It used to be a hair salon called Jamie's Place, and I'm converting it into a gym. And it has basically taken every spare minute of my time to get it converted over ever since about 2 Fridays ago. So nice. I have been extraordinarily busy. Luke has been down here multiple times with me, and he helped me spackle, he helped me paint, he helped me move mats in, did all kinds of stuff, man. I don't even know what I would be doing right now if it wasn't for him along the lines of this project. So I am extraordinarily thankful to him. And hopefully, I hope to have this in some semblance of order by Wednesday of this week, because it's the Wyalusing Valley Volunteer Fire Department's parade. Well, the carnival will start up, I think, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday there's a parade that goes through town. So I'm going to have a group of my lifters going through the parade. We're going to have T-shirts on promoting the place. It's going to be called Peak Strength and Fitness. Totally different from anything that I've done in the past. So I wanted to try to keep the online stuff completely separate from the gym. So got a cool logo that I've been working on. That's just about ready, and hope to open doors up here pretty soon. But I definitely want to have it ready so that people can come in and see that it's actually a gym on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Pretty excited.
Hey, so what kind of place is this going to be then? Is it kind of a private thing or something open for, multiple members, or how's it going to work?
Primarily, my plan right now is to do instructional training in here. So group fitness, group strength and conditioning classes, boot camp style stuff, weight loss style stuff. And I also, I'm very passionate about getting people out of pain. So I want to run classes that are geared towards helping people with their back, helping people with their shoulder pain, things along those lines. I feel that those are things that I have a pretty good grip on, since that I've had so many problems myself in the past with my back and my shoulders and things like that. So I don't know. I've had a decent amount of people ask me if they can just come here and train, and I'm undecided about that at the moment, because my main objective is the group instructional classes. So I'm not quite sure about that, but it's possible that I might open up some time slots. We'll see.
Sure. So it's going to be so you're not going to have any like grip stuff incorporated into this. So your operation at your home is going to stay the same?
That's still up in the air too. There's actually a section so I've got like the main room that's like 20 by 30 or so, and a little bit bigger than that, I guess. And then there's a structural wall that holds up the building, and then on the other side there is a section that used to be sectioned off when it was a hair salon for nails and pedicures. So it's about like maybe 8 to 10 feet wide and then 20 feet long. So the potential there is to have the grip stuff in that area, sort of like, I know you've never been to Andrew Derniat's gym, but he's got kind of a section where he keeps all of his grip stuff, his blobs, his inch dumbbells, his grippers, and all that stuff. All the grip implements are up in this one area, kind of located all in one place. So I was thinking that I might pattern after that and have this area that's kind of sectioned off and hidden back, have that be the grip area, and then that's where most of the chalk will be used. And then it's not getting all over the place, because that's the problem with my garage gym. Like the chalk just gets everywhere. So I might even put like a divider up in the doorway, and might even start off being like a Hulk Hogan bed sheet or something like that, just hanging, to separate the area. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're not going to use chalk. We're going to use chalk, but like if I'm doing my workouts and stuff, I'm gonna be doing it over in that smaller area, and it's big enough for like a studio also. So I think I could shoot like instructional videos for like the gripauthority.com and also DVDs and stuff in there. But who knows? I might end up having two locations. You know, the area where I'm at now that ends up being grip workouts, and then the instructional stuff down here. It's still up in the air a little bit, Alan. There's some decisions to be made.
Sure. What kind of equipment you see getting in there?
Oh, that's a fantastic story, Alan. I'm glad you brought that up, and that was totally unprompted, everybody. I did not ask Alan to bring that up, but there's an actual huge backstory to my equipment situation. You want to hear it, Alan?
I definitely do, yeah.
Okay, all right. Sit down, kiddies. Sit around the fire here, and I'm going to spin you a tale of woe that has to do with strength training equipment. So I'm going to say the summer of 2016, I was told by a lady named Kelly that I was training at the time that all of the equipment that was in the current varsity fitness center and strength room at the high school was going to be sold off because they were upgrading the fitness center into this like $1 million project. Okay. And I've seen the place. It really is beautiful. It's a beautiful place what they built here at the Wyalusing High School. So they were selling all the old equipment. So I was like, oh, I got to find out more about this. You know what I mean? So that was in the summer. And then by Christmas time, I had bought the equipment. So there was all kinds of plates, all kinds of dumbbells, dumbbell racks, all kinds of barbells. There were like 3 different pull-down stations. There were at least 3 flat bench presses. There was a couple adjustable benches. There was a preacher curl bench. There was a cable crossover machine. There was a half squat. So like not a full squat cage, but a half cage.
Yeah.
With like the shrug bar, the thing you can do like rack pulls and shrugs off of, but it's not adjustable. And then, dude, to top it all off, there was the most beautiful piece of strength equipment that I've ever seen in my life called the Jammer. You ever see the Jammer?
I'm familiar with the Jammer. Yes, those look awesome.
Okay, yes, I agree. I've always thought they looked freaking amazing. I've always wanted one, and there was one in there because it was this strength facility was designed for the football team. So that made perfect sense because those are marketed, especially for football players and other sports that are similar to football, like probably rugby and things like that. It would be real valuable for. So I'm not going to. Yeah, absolutely. And I was looking forward to using this piece of equipment. I was psyched. Not all that stuff was going to fit in here, dude. This place is not big enough for all that stuff, but I was going to find a place for the Jammer. And at one point I was even considering putting the Jammer back in that one area because it would fit perfectly in the one slot. So the money changes hands. We won't say how much money, but the money changes hands at the end of the year in 2016. And I immediately began taking things out of there as soon as I can. So I'm talking about the dumbbells, the bars, things like that. I was taking out of there one trip at a time whenever I had time to get down there and do it. But it got to the point where everything that was left in there was too big to fit in my car. So I did not go down there right away. I made a couple trips when I had access to my dad's trailer and stuff like that. But I didn't have any place to actually store all this stuff, okay? So a good friend of mine gets his barn overhauled, and he wants to put a facility in there, right? So I'm thinking I can have my home, I can have my business in Wyalusing, which, the building that I have now, I'm thinking ahead, right? I didn't have a building yet, but I was thinking I would have one in Wyalusing. And then he lives in Towanda, so I could essentially have 3 locations. And there was enough equipment by far to support all three places. So he gets his barn overhauled, right? and this is, I want to say, April of this year. So there's been a little bit longer than a year that's gone by, and I checked multiple times to make sure there was no deadline for getting my stuff out of there, and I was told every single time there was no deadline. There were no plans for that building.
I know where you're
So I go, yeah, dude, maybe you call that foreshadowing. I go down there, I want to say the first weekend in April, open up the doors, I look in, and you know what I see?
Bare walls.
I see crickets jumping around, having a good time in this area on zero strength training equipment. So I had gone down there and disassembled the squat cage, disassembled the cable crossover machine, disassembled the jammer so that when I was able to locate that somewhere and place it somewhere, I would be able to go in there and get it. All that stuff was gone. All the benches were gone. All of the last dumbbell rack that was in there that was like 700 pounds that I couldn't move by myself was gone. Everything was gone, including the universal machine. You know what a universal machine is? You know what I'm talking about when I say that?
No, actually I don't.
Okay, so it's like it came out, I think it was produced by Nautilus. I could be wrong on that, doesn't really matter. But what it is it was like an all-in-one strength training facility. It was one unit and it had a bunch of stacks, bunch of like cable stacks on it. So you had like a bench press, you'd have a pull down machine, you'd have like an ab bench, like an angled 45-degree abdominal bench that you could do. There was like a Roman chair on there. There was all kinds of things, right?
Okay,
and
I do know
even
about.
yeah, even that thing was taken out of there. The only stuff that was left in there, dude, was like a bunch of nuts and bolts and the lifting mats and the battle rope. That's all that was left in there. Everything else was gone. So I'll speed this story up a little bit because we're eating up time, but I had to do a bunch of investigating, but I found out that they went in there. So they were sending memos everywhere to get this stuff out of here by the end of the school year. Get this stuff out of here by the end of the school year. No memo was sent to me. None. Zero memos. So it was a gigantic, it was a gigantic miscommunication across the board, and nobody told me. Someone went in there with a handheld chop saw, cut all that stuff up, all that perfectly good equipment. They chopped it all up, loaded it into a dump truck, took it to a scrap yard, and it's God knows where now.
Oh, that's terrible.
Dude, isn't that heartbreaking?
The best crap. I mean, yeah. So you only got what you could carry out in one hand at a time.
That's right.
Everything else.
That's right.
Oh, that is horrible. That is horrible,
dude.
I mean,
dude, it's
because you probably
crazy.
got it for. I mean, you don't need to mention the money, but I know, like, I've seen that around my area where schools they renovate, they'll build new facilities, so they look to get rid of their old crap, which their old crap is pretty nice, but they're looking to upgrade. So you get this stuff for like pennies on the dollar.
That is correct.
To see this shit end up in a dumpster, I mean,
oh, dude. Like, I was ready to, when I first talked to the first guy, I acted like such, I'm ashamed of the way I spoke to this gentleman on the phone, but I was so upset that all that stuff was gone. Later, I apologized to him and told him that you were talking to someone that's been sitting on this for, a week and a half, not knowing what the heck happened. But, yeah, so, yeah, but, it's so it's all gone. I did get reimbursed, but yeah. So I was pretty upset. But hey, we're rolling with it, man. We got plans, so we're gonna turn this thing into like a pretty sick place. There's gonna be a lot of excellent training going on, both for strength and conditioning style training for athletes. Body, also, just bodybuilding and fitness for general public. It's going to be a great place. Powerlifting, strongman style training. Oh, nice.
I was wondering about that. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have the log. I'll have my Atlas stones down here. There's a plot of grass out back where we can do farmers walks and lifts. If I get a platform, do stone lifting out there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be totally awesome. Luke and I already built our own platform out of plywood. We just I got to get some more mats to build to put the rubber down on the platform, but that's already built. I mean, dude, we've done a lot of work. He's been helping me out tremendously. I owe him big time.
That's nice. So you're gonna have
man.
like some uprights outside for like whipping kegs over and stuff.
Dude, that's a fantastic idea. I mean, the sky's the limit. As long as it's in the budget, we can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that is sweet. Well, you got a perfect spot then.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
You're not handcuffed by anything really. The equipment situation sucks pretty bad, but everything else though, that sounds pretty close to ideal.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, dude. So it's pretty soon here. It'll be the process of taking stuff from the garage, figuring out what I want to move down here. There's some stuff that I got to assemble. Like I disassembled the dumbbell racks that I could disassemble. Like the one thing that got chop sawed, that was like a big old thing that someone welded together. Like there was no taking that apart. There wasn't a single nut or bolt or screw in the thing. But the other stuff that I was able to take apart, I've got to put back together and bring down here, and we'll be in fine feather, bro.
Sure. Nice. Well, congratulations. I was pretty pumped when I saw you getting that set up. I kind of had a feeling it might have had like a I don't know, a different theme to what the building was before you bought it. Judging by like you could look on the walls, you could tell where there'd been like some lights hanging up in a row. So I thought it might have been like a makeup room or something like that at the very least for somebody off of like a theater or something. I didn't know. So, but yeah, that all fits. So
yeah,
cool.
What did you say? A makeup room off of what?
Well, so I do work at like a lot of different larger buildings, and a lot of them will have these huge auditoriums, and they'll have like dressing rooms and different areas, and they'll have lines of light fixtures and mirrors. Yeah. And when I saw that picture you posted on Facebook, it looked like one of those type of rooms with just all the crap ripped out of it.
Yeah, but you didn't say auditorium. What was that other word you said?
Theater. What is that? Is that a foreign word?
I like hearing people say theater. We say theater around here. So
theater as opposed to theater?
Regional. Oh. Yeah.
That's funny. My mom was born in Virginia, and she said forever things differently than the rest of us did. It was like washer. There was like 2 R's in the word washer, and things like that. So yeah, it's funny hearing people talk.
What do you call the thing? What do you call the thing that you plug into the wall and it's like sucks dirt out of your carpet?
A vacuum.
Okay, all right. That's cool.
What, you were expecting a different pronunciation?
No, not a different pronunciation, but some people call them sweepers, and it makes me want to stab them.
Oh, that sounds like something to come out of Britain.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree, but I've heard people call them sweepers.
No, that's like,
what the heck are you talking about? What's the sweeper?
That word
What's
itself,
that?
That's like people eating like crunchy potato chips right in my ear. I get the same thing. Oh, yeah, I would want to stab somebody if I heard that. Yeah.
Right, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's the rundown on the building, dude. So I'm definitely going to be holding King Kong here in October. My leg of King Kong will be here. And then for that one, we'll probably bring it out here and we'll actually lift on the platform. So there'll be some chalk out here that day. But I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks for letting me talk about that today. What I thought we'd do for the show, Alan, is we'll cover some of the big feats that we saw go down during the month of July. What do you think, man?
Sounds good.
Cool. So why don't we do this? Why don't we knock out feats of the month for July? I know that I've got one that 2 particular people performed. Oh, before we get to that, dude, there's been a few competitions that have gone on that we should highlight as well.
Oh, okay. I may have overlooked some stuff, so I guess.
All right. Yeah, so what I did is I went in And I looked at the hashtag This Week in Grip, and we are up to 1,740, first of all. 1,740 hashtags of This Week in Grip. So that's freaking awesome. I appreciate that, everybody doing that. It makes it real easy because the last couple weeks I've been so busy, I have not even had time to really go through Instagram and see what was going on unless someone tagged me. So appreciate that people are doing that for their grip stuff. It really makes it easy. But there's been at least 3 competitions that took place in July, it seems, okay? So the first one was the California Arm Lifting Championships. I don't have a lot of information on it, and I think it took place at Clay Edgin's gym. Is that the one that did we interview him about that?
I don't know. We had him on.
I can't remember what contest he ran.
I don't
No, that was when
either.
he was over in Russia. That was when he was in Russia, I believe.
Well, he's been on twice. We've had him on twice.
Yeah.
And
the one was
California
Strongest Hands.
Yeah, yep. And then the second one, that might have been the Russian. That was the Russian thing. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So there was also a California Arm Lifting Championship, and I don't know when it was. I think it was towards the beginning of July, because I was going down through the hashtags in reverse order, and that was the last one I wrote down. So not sure what happened there. Maybe we can get somebody on sometime to talk about it. Eric Hussein also ran a Canadian Arm Lifting Championship, and I didn't find the name for it. You don't happen to know what that competition was called? I think it was on July 12th.
It was the Ontario Arm Lifting Open, I believe.
There you go. Yep. My buddy Joe Sullivan went up to that. I don't know if he was the only American that went or not, but he said he had a great time. He did pretty well.
Was there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there was also the Hands of Doom competition that took place out in California, and they even put up a cool promotional video for the contest in order to get some social media activity going around it. It was they kind of dressed up, and they shot it in a way. You're familiar with Kung Fu Theater, Alan?
Yes.
Kung Fu Theater from the 80s, where it was they would dub over the English over the Chinese or Japanese.
I used to watch that stuff all day.
Yeah, dude, for real. I was not allowed to watch it, and I would turn the TV down really, really loud. It was so violent they wouldn't let me watch it.
You're not going to
blood
believe
and
it.
stuff, dude.
My dad wouldn't let me watch wrestling growing up, but he had no problem me watching Kung Fu. And the reason he didn't want me to watch wrestling, it had nothing to do with violence or anything like that, but the way the women were dressing, he didn't want me to see that.
Yeah.
It's just interesting though. There was a number of people like that. Some kids could watch Kung Fu and some couldn't. It was kind of a thing. I don't know.
I bet there's a lot of people listening right now that were never able to watch Kung Fu Theater, and I encourage them to go out of their way to try to find some Kung Fu Theater, because that was a really cool show. And I don't know if it's on YouTube or what, or I don't know if you can get it on Netflix. I have no clue. But that was I haven't seen it in probably 3 decades. So I couldn't even tell you if there was a storyline or if it was just random stuff like the A-Team. I don't know. But it was awesome. I remember thinking it was awesome back in the day. And like I said, I would sneak off into the side room and turn the TV on really, really quietly and pretend I was playing Atari, and instead turn it on Kung Fu Theater. It was dude, wasn't it all bloody and stuff? And people were getting their eyes poked out and stuff like that.
There was swords and all kinds of crazy crap. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was definitely. It was pretty brutal stuff for back then.
Yeah, it wasn't like Masters of the Universe where people would just get hurt and He-Man would run away or whatever. People were dying up in this piece on Kung Fu Theater. It was straight up violence.
Yep.
What was the one, there was one where there was this old guy was a ninja, and he would wear this pajama-looking suit. It was dark, and he had a grappling hook, and he would climb up on top of buildings and stuff. Did you ever see that one?
Yes.
He'd throw the ninja stars, man.
Yes. He had a nemesis too. He had a nemesis.
Yeah, constantly fighting against this one bad guy.
Yes, and he was Oriental almost. I don't even remember what the other guy's name was, but the one guy was American. Yeah. And they had a common what would have been their master between them. And somehow this guy, I don't know what happened, he died or something like that. I can't remember the name of that show to save my ass right now, but I used to watch every episode of that came out. I loved it. Man.
That was
the throwing cool everything. It was. Once a week that it came on. That and Street Hawk and Airwolf, it was all in that same time frame.
Oh man, those were, and talk about I don't know if I really got into Airwolf, but I remember the music at the beginning was pretty killer.
It's like a flashback.
Yeah, man. So gee whiz. All right, so Hands of Doom, the Ottawa Armlifting Open and California Armlifting Championships went down in July. We didn't talk about them. We had other stuff going on. We missed shows. I'm sorry about that. If anybody listening wants to call in sometime and talk about these competitions, I'd love to have you on. We'll find some time to talk about it, and we'll get it covered. So any other competitions that have gone on in the last couple months that we might not have covered, Alan?
No, not that I can think of. The ones that you brought up, they popped into my head once you mentioned them, but otherwise I had completely spaced those out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I tried to keep better track, but
I know it's been really tough. I mean, there was a vacation, trip, a graduation parties. I mean, the weekends have been ridiculous. I haven't even been to church in probably about 8 weeks. Yeah, it's been real bad. So I have not been able to take notes like I normally do. But let's do Feat of the Month, man. Feat of the Month during July. Alan, why don't you start it off? And don't steal mine, you son of a gun.
Well, okay, all right. So I've got to give it, I guess, to Dolly Chung is, I believe, the pronunciation. And all right. He had the 20 kilos plate flip and catch. He did one in each hand.
Yes.
Apparently this originated, evidently, I don't know if there was some correspondence between Marco Bull and Gil Goodman, but evidently, Gil had posted a video saying that Marco thought something to the effect that he was the only person that had done that. Not saying that he was the only person that could, but he was the only person at least that he'd ever seen that had done it. So then Gil posted a video of doing one, and then Dolly Chung just in the triple dog dare fashion went and did it with two. So he gets my vote. So good. That was impressive.
That was something I've never seen before. And way to work in the Christmas Story reference with the double dog dare. Yeah. I also had that written down.
Looking thing was still on my on my mind.
Yeah, that was an excellent one. I got to go with Feat of the Week being the inch transfer from Mr. Wide Pinch and Tanner Merkel, both hitting that during July. Because that is something that is extremely hard, and rarely do you see. Probably, I guess we got to give the edge to Tanner because he only weighs 125 pounds or whatever it is. He's like 50 pounds less body weight than the inch dumbbell, so we got to give it to him. But that was what I wrote down as the Feat of the Week.
Yeah, I remember we covered those.
Feat of the Month.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, that's impressive stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, did you catch Joel Dirks? He did a 225 pound plate pinch transfer. Like a lot.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so he took two 25-pound plates, pinched together, deadlifted them, and then popped them back and forth between hands. He hit it for 10 times. And then he didn't even miss on the last rep. He just set them down, repinched, and then did a curl with them. And then called it.
He curled them?
Yep.
He curled the 225s.
Yep.
Dude, that's pretty darn hard, man. I don't think I've ever done that. I tried to plate curl a single 35 in each hand when I was in New Jersey a few weeks back, and I couldn't do it. So there ain't no way I'd be able to do 225s right now. My wrist just about snapped trying to the 35s. And I used to be able to do that, but I can't do it. That feat is
he
crazy.
made it look like he just, gets up and does that every day like some people do push-ups, It was just nothing. Yep. I mean, he stopped at 10. He could have kept going.
Wow.
So, yep.
Wow.
So that was impressive stuff.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I did not see that, dude. And I follow Joel Dirks, and I haven't seen anything on him. I think Instagram buried Joel Dirks on me because I haven't seen anything from him. He's freaking massive, dude. He's strong. Yeah. So I gotta go search him up and like a couple of his posts so I can get my stinking algorithm going again on Instagram so I can see the stuff that I want to see. I
wish I could figure that out because I tell you, between like Facebook and Instagram and even YouTube, I completely lose like people that I'm subscribing to. They just get buried to the bottom of the pile, and I'll get some random garbage that I don't even care about. That's like top of my feed. Like if I want to see something you did, I gotta like search your name and then find it.
Well, that's total horse shit. They need to get their stuff straight. I watched a video on how to spackle because I had never done any spackling, so I wanted to be ready because I didn't want to disappoint Luke when I got down here to spackle. And now all I've got is DIY, home improvement, all that stuff. Watch one stinking video and it ruins my whole feed on YouTube. It's ridiculous. I'm upset now.
I know. That's yes. That's an understatement. It's embarrassing, really, what it does to you. It takes a while to get it built back up to the the things that you're really into.
Yeah, dude. I got a question for you, dude. Who would you say in what you've seen recently? Okay, and I know you're not prepared for this question, but who would you say have been the most plentiful or most proliferous grip featist during July, in your opinion? Who jumps out at you? Who put up the most videos of grip feats that impressed you with their abilities?
Boy, I'm trying to think here. That's really tough. Boy, I don't know. I guess I don't know who did the most.
Okay, so
the people that I see pop up the most regularly are like James Rodriguez, Joel Dirks. I mean, we haven't been seeing a lot out of like Gil lately. Not even Big Iric. Dan Fleming hasn't had a lot. And some of these guys we're not seeing them with the regularity that we used to. So I don't. I guess I'm at a blank on that one.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say James Rodriguez for me. That's actually who I was thinking of, and I'm glad that you brought his name up. So I took a few notes earlier this afternoon before you and I got on the phone, and one of the highlights I wrote was the James Rodriguez, and his name on Instagram is Strong Arm Book. James Rodriguez's pinch train is speeding down the tracks because he knocked out 325s pinch with the York milled plates, which is not something you see very often. He did a combo with a 45-pound and a 25-pound plate with a pipe and then added weight on there. And he also did a key pinch. Now, he did a key pinch on a shallow 45-pound plate and then curled it. So he basically key pinched the hub of a 45 that was like a thin plate, right? It was like a shallow hub. And then he didn't just pick it up, he curled it. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before. And his fingers were on the inside. Like, the only time that I've ever key pinched the hub on a plate, my thumbs were on the inside. So I don't know if it's easier or harder to just pick it up with the fingers on the inside. First off, I don't know if I get my hands in there. But it kind of freaked me out that he was able to do it. It was pretty scary looking. And I didn't even write down everything that I saw of him. He put up a bunch of other stuff during July, but I mean, it was a very prolific month for James Rodriguez with the pinch stuff that he knocked out. Yeah, and I know that he had all kinds of other stuff that he put up too. I think there were a couple thick bar and maybe a preacher curl thing that I totally went by and I didn't take a note on. So
yeah. His
good
pinches
month for
absolutely
James.
exploded. Yeah, I saw that too. He's been pinching, yeah, like his mix and match type of pinch stuff. We saw him working on. I don't know if it was Bob Sundin just hit a 50 and 55 pound plate pinch, and I don't know if that's the same one that James was working on or not. But one of them has a hub that sticks out a little ways, so it makes the plates kind of flare and misalign immediately. It's like a gold bar type of thing almost that it turns into.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he popped it off the ground. He got some solid air on it, and he's that's right
Bob?
there for him. No, well, Bob, I'm not sure if he hit the same plates or not.
Because I saw Bob did a 50-55 combo lift that he clearly locked out.
Yep, he nailed it. But James was working on something.
It.
Yeah, something along those lines. It might not have necessarily been the same one, but it was clearly a very tough lift, because normally when people are pinching plates, they line up within reason anyway, they line up perfectly. Old school Yorks, for example, those are going to line up like crap. But these have a hub that's giving it that that added factor, so they don't completely mate up at all. They're misaligned, they flare out at the bottom. It'd be a real tough lift, and that's right up his alley. He'll have that soon. So
yeah, no doubt about it. I saw that you're back into the pinching and card tearing, Alan.
Yeah, that was funny. So I never knew, throughout this whole process with my shoulder, physical therapists, that they're not able to tell me really what my capabilities are or aren't at this point, right? So every few weeks I go in and they hand me this little tablet, and I'm kind of supposed to evaluate my progress. And they ask me things like, am I comfortable doing such and such a thing? And, and one of the things they asked me was how comfortable I was picking up something that weighed, 100 pounds with my affected arm. And I wrote down in the notes that I wasn't comfortable at all, because up until that moment, the most they told me I could lift was literally 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So I commented to my physical therapist about that situation, and he confirmed. He says, yeah, you really shouldn't be lifting more than 10. And I said, well, why are you asking me if I'm comfortable lifting 100? Is that like a test? That I'm cheating or something, or what the deal is? So anyway, my arm's been feeling better. I've been feeling more capable. So I just went for it. I decided to, and my first pull on it, I just about got it to lock out, and then I lost it, and then I've started hitting it ever since then. So that was a 100-pound hex that we're talking about here. But I literally haven't lifted that, since I'd injured my shoulder like a year ago in April. And after that happened, anytime my arm would be even slightly bent, I'd get a bunch of pain, and it was almost like it shut my right hand off.
Right.
So things just kind of went to hell on that. I could still do grippers, but nothing else. But I couldn't set a gripper. I could no set grippers, things like that. That was all I could do with that arm. So it was interesting that I didn't lose anything through that. I was really surprised. I figured I'd have been fighting like hell to get that one back. So, but
that's good.
Yeah, nice to be getting back on track anyway. So,
awesome, dude. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Have you tried any other feats that you might not have posted?
No, those were the main things. I've just been kind of slowly building back up, but still cautious, because I tend to do weird things. How when things get to be at a max effort for us, crappy stuff happens with our shoulders, like they kind of start to round forward, you maybe shrug a little bit. So I'm I'm a little leery of that at this point. I don't want to be doing anything, especially nothing that would involve something slipping and me chasing it to the ground, because I don't want to get that jolt back either. So trying to be as smart as possible right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that, man. Be smart about it. Good. Well, I hope it keeps on improving, dude. Improving, I should say. Keeps on improving. Another prolific person during July was Joe Sullivan. He knocked out a couple things that I thought were pretty impressive, Alan. First off, and I don't know how I didn't see this before, but he did a 20-pound sledge lever, like face lever, for 3 reps, and they were pretty darn strict. Like, he had a little nudge from his forehead on the head of the hammer to get it back up, but his hand didn't drop very much, dude, and you don't see that very often. Like, a lot of times when people get up that heavy on a sledgehammer, their hand drops quite a bit in order to improve that leverage. So I was pretty impressed with that. I just saw that today for the first time. He also you can see that across, at least across the USA here, the jug handle lifts are going up quite a bit. Joe posted a video from a get-together that he had with Ryan Thomas where he did a 230 and a 235 lift on the 2.5-inch jug handle that's going to be used in the King Kong of grip. Well, I guess he didn't have an actual jug handle; it was like a replica, but still 230 and 235. Those are pretty good numbers. So it looks like his learning curve is getting to the point where it needs to be for that, and I'm sure that we're going to see 250. We'll see him knock out 250 at least on the jug handle come October. Have you gotten your hands on the jug handle, Alan?
No, and I was just going to mention that. I feel like I might be missing the ball on this one here. It seems like everybody has started training that event in particular like really early this year.
Dude, I'll tell you what. There are those two events, that and the Moontop. I mean, the Moontop's a damn mystery to me, dude. I mean, I started training those things as soon as I got them because I can't really figure out anything consistent with either one of them. So like I've gone from setting PRs on the Moontop and to the next time only being able to do like 10 pounds less than that PR. So it's been a struggle. So yeah, I think a lot of people have started pretty early with the training for those implements just because they're unfamiliar with them.
Yeah, no, the Moontop I had played with just because to me that's along a hub style of lift, and it's lighter, so I've been able to do that with both hands. So that was kind of a thing, But otherwise, no, the jug, I don't know. I just hadn't. I don't even know where I'm going to put that in. I was actually going to do that thing in the Grip Authority's private Facebook group to see what people are doing with that.
Yeah.
I have no idea where to train it.
Right.
But, so interesting.
Yeah,
I know. I definitely seen some people playing with that.
Yeah, lots of people have been using it, and you're looking at like most people that are topping out at maybe 160, 180, and then over the course of weeks or just a couple weeks are up over 200 pounds. So I'm sure it's, part of the seasoning process plus part of just getting familiar with the device. But everybody I've talked to, like in any kind of detail, like Chris Andrade, when we went to WWE a few weeks ago, he was saying that his lifts are really inconsistent on it, and it's pretty frustrating. I've talked to a few different people.
Was for me.
Yeah.
One day I'd pick up something, it'd be like serious PR territory, and then the next, and then I'd plan a workout entirely around what I had just done, and then you go there and you miss one of your warm up weights, something stupid like that. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to get into it when that kind of crap happens.
Yeah, I hear you. What else, dude? I got a couple other things that I want. Well, I've got a bunch of things to cover, but there were a couple other topics I wanted to cover. But you go ahead.
Well, so I've got one. We used to do a quote of the week. It's been a while, but we used to do one. No, I've got a good one, and this was said. I'm probably going to mispronounce this guy's last name, but we'll get to why I'm talking about him. Guy's name was Mark. I'm going to go with Vieweg. That's Viehweg. And he had a quote. It says, "It's too late for inexperience to be an excuse not to do something." So I thought that was a really nice quote. And this was something that he said in an interview to Iron Mind right after starting on the Crush to Dust challenge. This guy's 59 years old, and he actually started that in the month of July. Cool. And the picture posted on Iron Mind's website was from Alan Barch Jr. If you remember, this was a fellow that just a few years back started the 3.5. You actually interviewed him.
For the Grip Authority. Yeah.
Yep. So
what did Alan do? He certified him? He witnessed him?
I believe he was the witness for the Crush to Dust cert. He had at the very least snapped the shot. Now, I don't know what this was affiliated with. It didn't say I saw that there was any competition or anything like that. But maybe they did this as a standalone thing. But Alan Barch is clearly established in the mind of Iron Mind. I'm not sure that he's certed the Crush to Dust, but he's got to be able to. He asserted the 3.5. I know he plays with the Rolling Thunder quite often. I'm not sure what he's pulling on or anything, but
right.
Anyway, a lot of experience in that regard. So
well, that one I didn't see that one, dude. So I'm glad that you did.
Yep, and Justin Major also actually started the Crush to Dust. He did that at the Ontario Armlifting Open. So we had a couple of those during the month.
Good call. Joe was sending me text message updates during that competition, and I remember he mentioned that.
So yeah, a few things actually got missed from Iron Mind. I mean, we had I think if this was back in June, but Hari Talonen broke the blockbuster pinch world record.
Okay, awesome.
Hit 51.4 kilos. So that's pretty
Huge.
big. What is that? 103, 104 pounds, something like that, maybe a little more.
No,
that's
50,
right.
50 kilos is 110.
Something. Yeah. It's 113, 114, something like that. Yeah, so that's a big pull.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yep. I mean, dude, and I'll tell you what, dude, I'd love to see what he could do on the pinch block if Luke chalked it. I mean, I'm sure those guys are great chalkers over across the pond, but let me tell you something, dude. There's just something magical about Luke's chalking abilities. So it'd be a match made in heaven.
Right. He should put out a tutorial on that. Or maybe it's just his chemistry with grinding it on or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, so Mark, I think his name's Mark Brotherson, if I remember correctly. He goes by Uncomfortably Strong on.
Yeah.
So did you see the thing he put out? It's he didn't come out with it. He put out a video with, it's like the reciprocating saw thing, and it like beats your arm. You put like a different fixture on there. Do you know what that tool is called? I couldn't find it when I was taking notes. What is the actual tool called?
A skill saw or a saber saw.
Sure. No, but what is there's a recovery device that people are selling now that is actually that thing with a special ball on it. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen it. I believe Rogue Fitness sells it. Oh, geez. I'm just going to try it. I know Brian Shaw has one. See if I can. Just doing a quick Google.
They have ads. They have ads on Instagram for this thing all the time. You go ahead and look at that, and I'll just tell people where they can. Theragun. Okay.
That's
Theragun.
The one that Rogue Fitness sells. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I would. Here's the deal. And I'm not sure. Well, no. Go ahead, and then I'll put in my 2 cents with where you are.
Yeah. So, Uncomfortably Strong put up like a build list for all the parts that you would need in order to make one of those. And I don't know, just go to his Instagram and you'll see it. But it's basically that skill saw or whatever. There's an attachment that you put on there. Then you need some kind of a ball that you attach to the end of the prod that like reciprocates. And then
jigsaw is the official term of that. A jigsaw.
The jigsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested in building one of those, then they can check out Uncomfortably Strong on Instagram, and they can build one if they're handy. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd probably end up breaking something, but it'd probably be something on my body. But everybody else is probably perfectly capable of doing it. Now, what were you going to say, Alan? What was your weigh in on it?
Well, and if you weren't handy, you could shell out $600 and get one from Rogue Fitness, and then wish you were more handy. So, I would recommend trying to put one together yourself, because you could probably do it for $50.
Holy. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think
those adapters, they're like $5. You drill a hole in a golf ball, a little bit of epoxy. You might even have the jigsaw. If you don't, they're not expensive for a corded. I mean, you get a cordless one, you're maybe going to pay a little more. But you get a corded one, not that hard. Most of us have outlets around here, And really, it's not a lot of money, and it's really not even a lot of time. I bet you, I mean, you're talking trip to the store to buy the crap, come back an hour.
Right.
And you got something you can use,
Yeah.
$600, that's a lot to drop on something like that. To me. So
yeah.
So I would definitely look up his list, but you probably don't even need to. I mean, I think they literally have the adapters that plug into those for a different reason. It's intended for different type of attachments, because some people will take one of those jigsaws and they'll put like metal brushes on the end of them for driving down inside of like a pipe or something like that, for example, because pulsating in and out. So they'll have those adapters. So you're just basically creating your own part that's going to go over the end of it. You know, and some guys don't even get that fancy. They'll just use like a saw blade, drill a hole in the golf ball, and then epoxy that in. I don't like that idea because I see a golf ball popping off and then you saw in a hole in some body part. You know,
yeah,
so
that doesn't sound too fun.
Right. That would be my luck anyway. So, but yeah, I think it'd actually be pretty easy to put that together. So
pretty cool,
it'd be
man.
awesome.
Cool.
It's got to feel good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I bet it feels awesome. Especially, I don't know about forearms. I mean, I don't know.
That could be a little nuts. It's hard to say the level of control you get with some of those, because some of them might let you kind of ease onto the trigger, but some of them might be more like an all or none. You know,
yeah,
so you get
I'm
like
looking at
3,000 oscillations a minute or something like that. That could be.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but I was thinking more like deltoids, triceps, lats, things like that. I think it would be pretty good. My quads are so thick, dude. They're. But I'll tell you, dude. I got Quadzilla going on right now. It's a condition when your quads are so big that you can't buy clothes, and I don't think there's anything that's going to be able to work through this tissue. I mean, it's just so dense and strong, and it's like iron. My quads are like iron. So,
you know, this is really funny that you brought this up about the quads. So, since all kind of the main exercise I've really been able to do for the past few months is literally squatting, right? So I kind of do it a lot more than I should. And and my quads literally they blew up. I mean, like I sit down wearing my shorts and I stand up, I got to like pull them back down because they kind of hitch up, and like my pants literally fit tighter in that area, you know.
Really?
And it's like I never really experienced that before, but there's something to be said about doing a lot of one certain thing. You know, it definitely has an effect.
Yeah, I know all about that with the shorts, and you can't wear the stuff you want to and all that. I know all about that, bro. It's I feel for you, dude. You got a bum shoulder, and now you're reaching napalm Quadzilla level. It's you got trouble on both ends of your body, dude. Some other stuff to highlight, dude. You know what would be cool, dude? I saw a post by Drew Gould 99, and I don't necessarily know the guy. It didn't ring a bell, but he put up this week a grip hashtag with his dog laying by a bunch of grippers, and I was thinking it would be cool if we did like a hashtag dogs of grip or cats of grip, and put those up on Instagram. I wonder if what people would if they would be able to, you know, create some pretty cool poses with their dogs, maybe like eating a gripper, or a cat like you know, burying a gripper in the litter box or something like that, or a stub, you know, burying a stub in the litter box.
There you go. Yeah,
that would probably be more useful.
I could probably come up with something on my own because you know, I have 2 cats and 1 dog, but my cats in the morning, a lot of times, if you know how cats work, right? If they can even see the bottom of their food dish, it doesn't matter. Food's all mounded around it. If they can see any of the bottom, they're starving, right? Yeah. Well, that's how my cats are. So I'll be downstairs in the morning going to get ready to start doing whatever I'm going to be doing, if it's grip or just regular strengthening. And they're all over me. They're bugging me, you know. They're weaving in and out of my feet and climbing on all my crap. Should you even hear them walking on my table? And I've got all my grippers lined up, and they'll have their tail way up in the air, and they'll go walking across this bench and hear their tail ticking all the gripper rating things. Sounds like bells going off over and over again. Yeah. Until finally it's like, okay, I'll give you 3 more pebbles in your dish so you leave me alone. You know, get to that point. But that would be a cute one. Video of that, you know.
Yeah, for sure. You should do that.
But my dog doesn't do steps. He's never done them, so he doesn't get to come down and visit. I'd have to bring the game to him.
Isn't it like is it cows or something like that won't go down steps? Like they can't see because of the way their face is built, so their eyes can't look down, and they can't see, like they won't walk down steps. Is that right?
Boy, I don't know. That'd be a weird situation where you'd see a cow on counter stairs. I wonder how you'd even find that out.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
But it could be possible. Yeah. Huh.
I think I heard it when I was at the beef plant back in like 2004. So, but it might be horses too. I really don't know. Like they'll go down a ramp, but they don't know how to do stairs because they can't see right or something. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Okay, like they lack the depth perception or something somehow, maybe.
Because the way their skull is built, like they're looking into the pit of their eye, so they can't and the peripheral doesn't work because their nose, their snout is so darn long. Like I don't know, dude. Something about that. We were talking about uncomfortably strong. He also did something that I always thought would be cool in a grip contest. It would have been like a 2-hand pinch waddle. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
How he had the flask and then he waddled with it. I always thought that would be cool.
Well, he did it with a good amount of weight too, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure, yeah.
Did he have a couple hundred pounds on it or something like that? I don't know. I
didn't catch the weight, but
it was heavy. Yeah.
Another cool thing that I saw was you mentioned Dolly Chung earlier, and have you seen the cylinder lift that he's been doing? It's like it's like a big fat like 3-inch maybe steel bar that he's got a strap attached to, and then lifting it in kind of like a hand and thigh lift. But it's such an wide open hand grip. I bet it's really tough on the hands.
Yeah, that would I wouldn't even personally be willing to try something like that because I once had like a really big wrist roller, and that actually kind of messed up my thumb a little bit. It took kind of a while to bounce back from it. So yeah, that's a little too large for me, but it was cool though. You know, it's kind of like a wrist wrench sort of deal. It's how it looked to me, like what he was doing with it, wasn't he? Didn't he have it kind of twisted down or something?
It was like
he's a strong dude. He kind of just came out of nowhere, really. You know, all of a sudden he just shows up, or at least that I saw, and then starts lifting some really impressive weight on a lot of these things.
He might be like John Matchnick. Is that his name? Where he's been hiding out in his garage forever, and it just took a while for someone to find him, and then John put up a double-inch lift video during July, too. He was at one of the competitions out there and decided to do double-inch dumbbell deadlift. And this is a guy that we didn't even hear about until earlier this year, like this winter. I mean,
they're hiding out.
These guys are around, dude. It's like that Aaron Robinson that I ran into up in Syracuse, man. I'd love to have a training session with him and see what he's capable of doing, not even knowing what he's doing, you know? It's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
There was another competition, and I left it out of that section where I had my notes, dude, because I saw Jason Gonzalez put up a video of his axle lift. I don't know if you remember. It might have been, you know what I think it was? I think it was one of the shows that I did by myself, where I just recorded by myself, and we, Grip Sport International sanctioned the double overhand axle lift at a competition in like West Virginia, and I don't know the name of the competition right now, but it happened in July, and Jason Gonzalez went there, and he actually improved his axle number with his best lift there at that competition. Did you see that? Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't actually. I missed that.
Okay. All right. So basically what you're telling me is if I do a show all by myself, I just sit there and record it so that the This Week in Grip fans get their show on the week. You're not going to listen to it. Okay.
Actually, no, fantastic. I did. I literally did listen to that, actually, that show. I just don't remember that part coming up, but I listened to that.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to think
very
of
interesting, Alan.
where you talked about to corroborate my story here, but I'm really drawing a blank. But no, I literally listened to that whole thing because I got these Bluetooth headphones, and I have to put my phone on this weird charger so I can walk around kind of most of my house while I'm doing things and listen to it. And I heard that one. I just don't remember what all you covered though, because you covered I thought there was like some personal topics in there too, even that you covered. I can't.
Yeah, I think so.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
But,
I think so. And maybe, you know what, dude, maybe I didn't cover it. Maybe I think I covered it and I didn't, because that kind of stuff has happened before too. So you're off the hook, bro. You're off the hook. Do you follow S. Nordskog? Her name is, I think I said it was Sarah one time, but it's actually like Suniva. But it's S. Nordskog.
Yeah, let me see.
Okay. So you know how in grip videos and stuff, if they do like, they do a lift like, one hand pinch a blob or something like that, and then they'll lift it, they'll set it down, and then they put it on the scale. You got to move the camera over there. You got to see what it weighs.
Yeah.
We've seen that a million times, right? So she had a pretty cool way to weigh what she lifted. I think she did Rolling Thunder, maybe, or Crusher, or something. It doesn't matter. But then when she went and got one of those handheld scales, and then she hooked that onto the loading pin eyelet, and then picked it up, sat it down, and then showed the display. It's like one of these, it has like the readout on there. So you can see the display in the camera. It was like really quick. And she didn't have to go grab the camera, make everybody seasick, carry it over there, and struggle to get the light just right so you could see the display on the scale readout. It was right there in her hand. It worked out pretty easy.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of her stuff right now. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Strong,
well,
man.
that's a neat little, that's a clever little handheld. I just saw her doing it with a hub.
Yeah.
I've never seen a little scale like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. You know what? It's like a fishing scale almost.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. That's what they use when I caught that big old largemouth bass. The first time I ever went ice fishing, dude, caught an 8-pound 9-ounce largemouth on the first tip up that I ever pulled out of the ice. So it like spoiled me for my entire life because I've never caught anything that big since. But it was
I suck at ice fishing.
Oh, dude, it's the best. It's the best. I want to do an episode of This Week in Grip right out on the ice sometime and just give commentary as I'm pulling in these, very respectable bass that I catch, but they've never been anywhere near that one. That was the first one I pulled out. I saw something cool from Hercules. Chris Ryder.
Yes, he had it.
He got very creative. I'm going to say he got double creative. Okay, because not only did he tear a phone book in pieces with boxing gloves, boxing mitts on his hands, but he also did it so that basically the only thing you could see was the boxing mitts, the words on his shirt, the phone book, and his face. Because he had everything else was black, and he had this perfect black background. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never seen somebody do that with boxing gloves on. That's got to be.
Well, I've seen it with gloves, not boxing gloves. I've seen it with gloves, but I've never seen anybody rip a phone book that easy before either. Like that was effortless. True, it was with the shearing technique, which is different, but I mean the ease with which he did that and remained expressionless was very, very impressive.
Yeah. Well, I love watching his stuff. That's mostly what I kind of at least have been seeing out of him was the phone book tearing and the occasional card tear. So I'm not sure what else he's really into. But
dude, I trained with him one time at my buddy Dan Senadoza's place down in Baltimore. He came over and brought like a pallet full of phone books. Like he's on the inside track when it comes to phone books because he had nearly a pallet full of them.
Yeah. Well, at SJ4, he tore that phone book in half with a license plate in the middle of it. So.
I forgot about that. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that inspired you, man. You went off. You went crazy on the phone book tearing after that.
Yeah, it was that was impressive to say the least. So you train. So what other stuff? I mean, is he like does he hit the feats that we highlight a lot? I mean, is he blob lift and plate hub? Are you doing any of that stuff, or you more or less into like the wrench bending?
I remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember we did some gripper stuff. And I don't think he closed a 3 all the way. I think he got it down to like 1/8 of an inch. Man, dude, we're going back to like 2008 here with this story.
Oh, sure.
Because I was in thin mode. It was when I lost all the weight when I turned 30. I know we got the blobs out, but all Dan had was like a nasty fat man blob. And while I was the only one that was able to lift it, John Eaton went down. I mean, I've got the videos from that place, from that trip somewhere. And I almost want to say they're on the Grip Authority, but I can't remember. He bent a wrench, one of those companion wrenches from Sears with the blue handles. They don't make them anymore, and you can't buy them anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
So he's mainly bending and tearing, old time strongman type stuff.
Okay,
like
that's so awesome. So
yeah,
I just didn't know if he was sitting on any power, and if he had like a rack of inch dumbbells at home and he was just doing all this stuff, we just weren't seeing it, or what the deal was. So
hey, I wouldn't put it past him, but not as far as I know. I know that on that particular trip, I took my inch dumbbell and left it there at Dan's. I let him borrow it for a while. And I don't remember what might have happened if Chris tried it or whatever. I really don't recall.
Okay. Cool.
Let's see. Shogun of Grip put up. That's he's Dustin McFarland. Is that his name? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh, that could be. Let me. I think I follow him. Let me see here. He used to post
Shogun
a lot.
Of Grip.
Yes.
He puts up a lot of posts. He puts up a lot of posts in the Northwest Grip Enthusiast group on Facebook. Do I have his name right? Dustin
McFarland. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. I don't. For some reason, I was unconfident about that. But anyway, put up a couple of videos recently, and this is the guy that just beat cancer here not too long ago. So he's on his road back to top level strength. Put up a 140-pound napalm pinch lift, 2-hand pinch, and also tearing some bicycle cards. And he got creative too. He hung using straps. He hung small kettlebells off of his wrist to make it a little bit more difficult.
Oh, interesting. That I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did that one time with a barbell and like a Zercher hold. Not with cards, I guess. I guess it was nail bending. Like when you restrict your wrists from moving like that, it makes stuff a lot harder, much more difficult. So that's why you see people doing stuff with the handcuffs on, because
sure.
you can't get the same range of motion. You got to make more adjustments. You got to switch stuff up, do stuff different. So it looked pretty good when he did that. And I see that Ricardo has solved the mystery of the moon top to a degree. He dropped a triple on with the moon top with 41.7 pounds during the month of July.
He's been hitting some big numbers on that.
Yeah, and he uses like the straight up hub lift technique, which I can barely do. That's like 20 pounds that way.
Yeah,
that's how you do it. You go like pretty pure with the hub style.
Yeah, I can't. When I see that, I don't have a problem with how anybody else hubs things. I'm not bothered by that. But when I try doing it the other ways, it actually just hurts. I mean, I'm not necessarily doing it to be a purist. That's just the comfortable way for me.
Yeah, so, I hear you.
But yeah, but no, he's lifting some. I mean, I actually don't even know what I'm lifting. I think I'm doing holds with, I want to say like maybe holds with 35 pounds, like something like that. I don't know. I could be 35 added. That. No, I don't think it's 35 total. It's probably 30 pounds added. I don't know what the apparatus weighs.
Yeah, that's probably about 35. That's probably about 35. So. Yeah. Dude, so, I think that's pretty good. I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, I haven't even been serious, just kind of in between things. Haven't been trying to like push it. Just been, I don't know, just playing around with it. My goals are so much somewhere else right now. Just kind of getting back to normal that I haven't been putting a lot into that type of stuff. So
yeah.
But that's a fun one. I kind of like that one. So Ricardo's going to pull huge on that, though. He's going to be way at the top come King Kong time. So
yeah, he's definitely going to be top 10, maybe even top 5 once King Kong gets here.
Yeah, going by huge out of Gil too.
Sure, going by the numbers that I've seen, that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Couple of the lighter guys, Hans Gruber, which is Nigel Blackburn, has been putting up a lot of videos recently. He's working hard on all the events for the King Kong of Grip. So he's a good guy to watch. Very intense individual. He's been getting all these thumb tears from the flask, and he's all pissed off, messaging me about it. And I'm like, dude, that happens. You just gotta roll with it. So we're working on some. He's one of my clients, so we're working on some other strategies to get away from the flask for a while without losing thumb strength. So
I've done that. I've unfortunately had to do that. Did that same thing. I've been doing a lot of pinching with the Blockbuster. Actually, that's what I've been using for the most part, and block weight. It's not a skin tear thing for me though. A while back I wound up tweaking something in the fingers on both my right and my left hand, and for whatever reason, pinching thinner right now, it kind of causes like a minor hyperextension on some of my fingers, and it really causes that to flare up. So the flask didn't cause this, but when I pinch on that, it makes it happen. Just the same thing with like the Iron Mine hub does it. Anything that leaves like part of my fingers just a little bit unsupported, but I can get away with it on like the moon top because I kind of get my whole hand on it, and it's like nothing kind of gets to want to bend backwards the other way, you know? Yeah. So, and it's worked because really in hindsight, I haven't been shredding myself lately, and I used to tear the crap out of myself all the time on like the Euro and, I mean, the flask too, really. I mean, I'm not faulting a piece of equipment, but I did used to tear myself on those things. So, and that's always a setback when that happens. But the Blockbuster's been really good. That's such a rounded edge that that you can't even pull. I can't pull heavy. I'm not pulling 115 pounds. I like the guys in Finland are, that's for sure. But I think if you're going to tear yourself, it's probably not going to be on something like that. Yeah,
I agree. So, I agree. But another one, of course, Jerome Bloom has been putting out more videos, and he's been doing some artwork as well. I saw a really cool, I think it was like a hub lift that he did, and he had it all tricked out. I don't know if he uses Photoshop or what, but he puts out a lot of those where he puts like gradients and shading and different colors really and stuff into them.
Yeah, almost kind of animated a little bit. Yeah. It looked really cool. Well, he had a monstrous uplift too. It was like 88 pounds or something like that.
Yes, that's the one I saw. Yeah.
So,
and then
he's hitting some huge numbers.
Back to Dolly Chung here. I see that he won the FBBC jug handle in the grip games that took place during, I think, July or whatever it was, the last one that they did. And then there's one going on for the flask right now as well, and I don't think there's been a winner decided, but congrats to Dolly on that one. Did you see a few weeks ago, Alan, it started with Mike Rinderly. He did, like, I've just been calling it a bare bones lift on the Napalm's Nightmare, where you just take the actual unit itself, no rotating handles on there, and then you hook that to the loading pin and see how much you can pull. And I think he did like 600 pounds, right? So then that set off like a domino effect of I'm going to top that, I'm going to top that, I'm going to top that. And we've seen so Luke and I tried it, and Luke was able to lift something like 900 pounds or something. It was obscene. It was ridiculous. 800 or 900. I don't know. And Brian, because Brian Hunsaker had put up like 800 pounds. So we beat Brian's number by like 3 pounds. So it's like in your face. And then he's like, okay, next time I'll chalk up. So then he did like 900 something on his next try. And then a guy named Mark Haydock got over 1,000 pounds on the bare bones lift. So, and as far as I know, it wasn't with hook grip. So, I mean, some huge numbers, just crazy. I knew the Napalm's Nightmare would hold that much weight because Luke and I were able to produce that much force on a crane scale, but I didn't know that anybody would actually be lifting that much. So that's been cool to see.
Well, that's a neat thing. I mean, that's a legit body strengthening thing. That's going to put a ton of stress across the boards on you. I got to think you'd be murdering your upper back, your everything. You'd do that top.
I was sore. I was sore after doing that, big time. Yeah.
I mean, that's got it. Not to mention, I would think you'd have to sleep like half a day after pulling something like that, and you'd want to eat like a bucket of chicken or something. I mean, just from like even the mental side of it, you just got to be drained. You know, that's how it would seem to me. So.
And where do you go when you want to eat a bucket of chicken? Is there a preferred?
It's around here. It's KFC.
Okay.
I'm probably supposed to like spell that all out, right? It's supposed to be Kentucky Fried Chicken. Is the abbreviation the hang up here?
No, I wasn't busting on your pronunciation of it this time. No, I was just wondering if there was another alternative out your way to go to besides KFC for that kind of stuff.
No, we don't have like the Popeyes or anything like that. It's exclusively KFC. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think we have like
now out your way. When you see a KFC, is it usually also paired with a Taco Bell? Like you go to either one or both if you wanted to?
No. It's they're standalone places. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they might be located like in a gas station.
Right.
But,
yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, that's interesting. I've never seen that. That's a good. Boy, that'd solve a lot of problems. I mean, you know, you try taking the wife and kids to a place. You know, if you're out, you got to pop in someplace quick. Nobody wants the same thing. You know.
Yeah.
People go one place. Bang.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. That saves the head button.
So I got two more, dude. I'm going to knock them right out. Nod to, of course, my partner, good friend, Luke Raymond. He hit a grip rush during the month of July on the flask with 95 pounds added on the flask. So it's easily over 100 pounds. I don't know how many reps he got, but it was pretty vicious. I know that I started to get scared when he was doing it because of the pinch power that he was producing. And then shout out to Pat Mazels, who is continuing to rock the loadable sledge. He's been putting up video after video where he's continually ratcheting it up by like a pound at a time with his face levers on that loadable sledge from Arm Assassin Strength Shop. So good job.
I saw him doing
that.
As well. Where's he headed with that? Does he have a goal in mind?
Dude, I think he's like in love with sledge levering, dude. He like single sledge, double sledge. He's probably going to get a triple sledge sometime and figure a way out to lever that as well. I don't know. I don't know what his plan is.
Okay.
But I wouldn't I'm not expecting him to stop anytime soon. It's like full speed ahead with that dude.
Well, cool. Yeah, well, nothing wrong with that. I mean, we see like, you know, you brought up James Rodriguez earlier, but he's had some long-term goal of preacher curl. I think he's after like 150, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what his exact number is, but you see a lot of heavy efforts out of him. You know, with the preacher curl, he's done upwards of 140. I don't want to. Boy, I don't even know what he's hit. It's huge though. I mean, it's like more than a lot of people are doing with two arms. You know.
Sure. Yeah. So, yeah. For sure.
So, yeah, I didn't know if he had a number or not. So interesting. Well, might as well not limit yourself. Just keep going after it, I guess.
He may have a goal in mind that I didn't see. So it's very possible. We'd have to ask him. What else, man? You got anything else on your list?
No, just one additional thing I wanted to highlight from Ironmind, and I don't know that we brought this up, but they're now recognizing pull-up records for teenagers. So they're letting us bring the younger people into the mix on that. So cool. It looks like they set the initial standard as 15 reps. So to basically set the world record to start getting on the list, it looks like you need to exceed that by at least one. So 16 reps is kind of the mark to hit right now. So that's a solid number. As I last checked, I didn't see anybody on the list.
Dude, I think I got a guy that could contend with that.
Yeah, they've got to be they got to be out there. Yeah.
I got a dude that his name is Luke O'Connor. He's a wrestler. He's going to college and he's going to wrestle there as well. And I'm forgetting his name, the college name right now, but I've been working with him for a couple of years, and he is a pull-up like machine. Like body weight stuff, he's really good at it. He's got a pretty long, like, you know, the pegboard deal where you climb on the pegboard, you go across or go upwards on the wall and stuff like that. Yep. It's real common for wrestlers. He's got one of those in his barn, and he's got a couple different things. It's Ninja Warrior-esque, okay? I'm not saying he's got a Ninja Warrior facility in his building, but it's he's climbing on the walls with different handles, and he's really good with it. And he's also the guy that I put up doing the wheel plank, and he got like 26 each way on the wheel plank. The dude is strong.
Yeah,
so
that'd be nasty.
yeah, I bet he could be in contention for doing 15 plus pull-ups on Rolling Thunders. Definitely with the old style. I mean, I know that he's done multiple sets of 10 on the old style.
Well, yeah. Rest him up a couple of days and have him take a swing at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Thanks, because I didn't see that one either.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome. See, well, yeah. Get that done at your new facility. that'd be a thing. So
for sure.
Cool.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, I think that wrapped it up for everything. Oh, you seen anything from Big Iric lately as far as grip lifts?
No, I haven't seen anything from him as far as grip lifts. I did see he put up some stuff where he was like analyzing his start off the blocks for his sprint work. But other than that, I haven't even seen any skating or anything like that. The last thing I saw was he was coming out of the blocks. That's it.
Okay. Well, I went on his Instagram thing. I looked at, I had to specifically look for his name, and I did that, and it comes up and it says something like family first. It says, I used to be strong, now I'm just trying to run fast, or something like that. It was hilarious. But yeah, no, I hadn't seen anything from him in quite a while. So I hope he's still working at it. So.
Yeah, well, I know that he has definitely said that he's done with grip competitions. He does not want to do grip competitions anymore. So, okay. I mean, I think that's a hard no on grip competitions. Yeah, but dude, it doesn't surprise me that he's got that up on his Instagram, because he is a funny dude. He is very, very humorous. I had a really good time with him when he was at my house in 2016.
Yeah.
Or 2017 maybe. It might have been 2017, I guess.
Seeing big dudes grind it out on the skateboard too, that's impressive.
Yeah, you got to put up you got to get some of your skateboard footage up from when you were younger, dude.
Yeah. When I was younger, I could actually do some things. Nowadays, I'd probably break like glass. So there's no friggin' way. You guys are killing it. I mean, like really, like the best dudes at that when I was growing up, they're not doing what I'm seeing like Dan Fleming do. That's for sure. Yeah, that's I don't know how they're just naturals.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, the show's yours, Alan. Why don't you take it away? Tell these people what to do before they go, and appreciate you getting with me this afternoon.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for episode 60 of This Week in Grip. Everybody, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Keep up with the hashtags. And well, this was a fun one. Quite the stroll down memory lane there with a couple of things. But hopefully we'll be back next week with another one.